Nathan Cross was finishing his usual Saturday morning coffee at Miller's Cafe when he saw the young woman approach the counter with desperation in her eyes. At 34, Nathan had built Cross Financial into one of the most successful investment firms in the city while raising his 3-year-old daughter, Mia, alone. His wife had died in childbirth, and Nathan had spent the years since balancing fatherhood with building his company, never quite feeling like he succeeded at either. Saturdays at Miller's Cafe were his sacred time with meal pancakes, hot chocolate, and an hour where he wasn't CEO Nathan Cross, but just daddy to a little girl who thought he hung the moon. Today, Mia was coloring at their table while Nathan reviewed some documents on his tablet. He'd been vaguely aware of the woman standing at the counter for several minutes, having what looked like an increasingly uncomfortable conversation with Tom, the owner. "Please," the woman was saying, her voice low but caring in the quiet cafe. "I just need one slice of bread. Just one. I have $2. Surely that's enough for a single slice." Tom looked uncomfortable. "Ma'am, we don't sell individual slices. The sandwich is $8. I'm sorry, but I can't break up menu items. But I don't need the whole sandwich. My daughter is so hungry, and we've been walking for hours trying to find a shelter, and I just need something to give her. Please, just one slice of bread with maybe a little bit of whatever filling you have. I'll pay the $2. Nathan looked up fully now and saw the woman clearly for the first time. She was perhaps in her mid-20s, blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail, wearing clothes that were clean but clearly worn. She held a baby, maybe 18 months old, who was crying quietly and listlessly, the kind of cry that came from exhaustion rather than tantrum. The woman's face was streaked with tears, and her hands shook as she held out 2 crumpled dollar bills. "I'm sorry," Tom was saying, looking genuinely distressed. "I wish I could help, but I have policies. I can't just give away food or break up orders. It messes up my inventory, and I'm not asking for charity." The woman's voice broke. "I'm trying to pay you. I have money. I just need one slice of bread for my baby. She hasn't eaten since yesterday morning. Please, I'm begging you." Nathan stood up, his breakfast forgotten. Mia looked up at him with curious eyes. "Daddy, where are you going?" "Just talking to that lady for a minute, sweetheart. Keep coloring." Nathan walked to the counter where the young woman was still pleading with Tom, her baby's cries getting weaker. Up close, Nathan could see the exhaustion in every line of her face, the desperation of someone at the absolute end of their rope. "Excuse me," Nathan said gently, addressing the woman. "I couldn't help but overhear. Your daughter is hungry." The woman turned to him, her expression immediately defensive and mortified. "I'm not asking for handouts. I have money. I'm trying to buy food. I just need one slice of bread, and he won't sell it to me because of policies." "I understand. May I make a suggestion?" Nathan turned to Tom. "Could you please prepare one of your club sandwiches, a fruit cup, a glass of milk for her daughter, and whatever she'd like to drink? Also, add a chicken soup and some crackers. Put it all on my tab." "Sir, you don't have to," the woman started, but Nathan held up a hand. "I'm not done. After you place that order, please bring it to my table." "Ma'am," he turned to the woman, "I'm not giving you charity. I'm offering you a chair and a meal. There's a difference. My daughter and I would be honored if you'd join us for breakfast. Sit down, eat first. Whatever else you need to figure out can wait until you and your baby have food." The woman stared at him, tears streaming down her face now. "Why would you do this? You don't know me. I don't need to know you. I can see you're a mother trying to feed her child. I'm a father with a daughter about the same age as yours. Sit down, please. Let us help." Nathan gently guided the woman to his table, where Mia was watching with big eyes. "Mia, this is... I'm sorry, I didn't get your name." Sophie Miller. "And this is Lily." The woman's voice was barely above a whisper. "Sophie and Lily are going to have breakfast with us. Can you share your crayons with Lily when she's feeling better? Mia nodded solemnly, her 3-year-old wisdom somehow understanding that this was important. Is the baby sad, Daddy? The baby is hungry, sweetheart, but we're going to help. Tom is bringing her food right now. When the food arrived, Sophie broke into fresh sobs. She immediately started breaking up the sandwich into tiny pieces for Lily, who grabbed at the food with desperate little hands. Sophie didn't touch her own meal, just focused entirely on feeding her daughter, tears running down her face as Lily ate. Sophie, Nathan said gently, Lily's eating. Now, you need to eat too. You can't take care of her if you don't take care of yourself. I don't deserve to eat. I let her go hungry. What kind of mother lets her baby starve? Sophie's voice was broken with guilt and exhaustion. A mother who's doing her best in impossible circumstances. That's what kind. Please, eat. Your daughter needs you strong. Sophie finally started eating, and Nathan gave her time to get some food in her system before asking questions. Mia, with the easy acceptance of children, offered Lily some of her crayons, and the two babies began what passed for playing together at their age. After Sophie had eaten half the sandwich and some soup, Nathan asked quietly, do you want to tell me what happened? How you ended up walking around with $2 trying to buy bread for your daughter? Sophie looked at him, seeming to weigh whether she could trust this stranger. Finally, she started talking. My ex-husband took everything. The house, the savings, even my car. Turned out he'd been having an affair and had been secretly draining our accounts for months. By the time I figured it out and got a lawyer, there was nothing left. The divorce went through 2 months ago, and I got sole custody of Lily, but no financial support because he claims he's broke. He's not. He's just hiding assets where I can't find them. She took a shaky breath. I had a job, but I couldn't afford childcare, and I had no family to help. I lost the job because I kept having to bring Lily to work or miss shifts. My landlord evicted me 3 weeks ago. I've been staying at a women's shelter, but they have a waiting list and I can only stay 2 nights at a time before I have to leave for others who need the space. I've been walking around trying to find another shelter with availability, but Lily was so hungry and crying, and I had $2 left and I just wanted to get her something to eat. Sophie wiped her eyes. I'm not usually like this. I was a paralegal. I had a career and a home and a life. I don't know how it all fell apart so fast. I'm trying so hard to put the pieces back together, but every time I think I'm making progress, something else goes wrong. And through all of it, Lily suffers. My baby suffers because I can't provide for her. Nathan felt his chest tighten. Sophie, you're providing for her right now. You walked around the city for hours trying to find help. You tried to buy food with the last money you had. You're fighting for her. That's what being a parent means. Not having all the answers, but refusing to give up. But I let her go hungry. You didn't let her go hungry. Circumstances beyond your control led to a situation where resources were scarce. That's not the same thing. You're here now. You're feeding her. You're fighting. That's what matters. I then paused, then made a decision. Sophie, I'd like to help. Not just with this meal, but with something more substantial. May I ask you some questions? Over the next hour, while Mia and Lily played with crayons and the cafe filled with the gentle sounds of Saturday morning, Nathan learned Sophie's full story. Her education, her work history, her skills, the systematically abusive relationship she'd escaped, the ex-husband who'd weaponized the legal system, gained his wealth to leave her destitute while maintaining his comfortable life. I'm the CEO of Cross Financial, Nathan finally said. We have a position open in our legal compliance department. It's not exactly paralegal work, but it's related. It would mean reviewing financial documents, ensuring regulatory compliance, coordinating with our legal team. The pay is $70,000 a year with benefits, including health insurance and childcare assistance. Would you be interested in interviewing? Sophie stared at him. You're offering me a job? Just like that? Because I couldn't buy bread at a cafe? I'm offering you an interview because you're qualified and we have an opening. The job offer, if it comes, would be based on your skills and experience. But Sophie, I'm also offering this because I know what it's like to be a single parent desperate to provide for your child. My wife died when Mia was born. I've spent 3 years trying to balance being her father with running a company. I understand what it means to choose between career and childcare, to feel like you're failing no matter what you do. And I have resources to help that many people don't. Why wouldn't I use them? Because people don't do things like this. People don't offer jobs to desperate women in cafes. Then maybe they should. Maybe we'd have fewer desperate women if more people with resources chose to help instead of walking past. Nathan pulled out his card. Here's my office information. Come by Monday morning at 9. We'll do a proper interview. In the meantime, I'm going to arrange for you and Lily to stay at a hotel tonight. Something safe and warm with room service. I can't accept all this. You can and you will. For Lily. She needs her mother rested and fed and stable so you can make good decisions about your future. Let me help create that stability. Not as charity, but as one single parent to another who understands how thin the line is between success and desperation. Sophie interviewed Monday morning at Cross Financial. Nathan made sure she spoke with the actual hiring manager, not just him, ensuring the job offer was legitimate and not just pity. Sophie got the position based on her own qualifications, then slowly rebuilt her life over the following months. But something else happened too. Nathan found himself checking in on Sophie's progress more than professionally necessary, inviting her to bring Lily to company family events where Mia was thrilled to have a friend, having coffee meetings that felt less like work and more like connection with someone who understood the challenge of solo parenting. I think I'm falling in love with you, Nathan admitted 6 months after their meeting at the cafe, and I need to know if this is just gratitude or something real. Sophie looked at the man who'd seen her at her most desperate and offered not pity, but partnership. It's real. It's been real since you told me to sit down and eat, since you treated my desperation as worthy of dignity rather than dismissal. But Nathan, I need to know, would you have offered me the job if I wasn't desperate? Or was this always about helping someone in need? I offered you the interview because you had the qualifications we needed. But I fell in love with you because you've shown me that strength isn't about never falling, but about fighting to get back up, even when you have every reason to stay down. Sophie, you tried to buy bread with your last $2 so your daughter could eat. That's the kind of mother I want, helping me raise Mia. That's the kind of partner I want building a life with. A year after trying to buy a single slice of bread at a cafe, Sophie said yes to Nathan's proposal in the same cafe where they'd met. Tom, the owner, cried and insisted on catering the engagement party. This place is special, Sophie explained at the party. This is where a stranger told me to sit down and eat when I had $2 and a starving baby, where someone saw past my desperation to my worth. This is where our family began. The wedding was 6 months later, beautiful and intimate, with Mia and Lily as flower girls walking hand in hand. In his vows, Nathan spoke words that made everyone cry. I watched a woman try to buy a single slice of bread with her last $2 so her daughter could eat. She wasn't asking for handouts or charity. She was trying to pay for food with the dignity of a transaction. Sophie, you were at your absolute lowest point, and you still fought to provide for Lily with honor and self-respect. You taught me that desperation doesn't diminish worth, that circumstances don't define character, that the strongest people are often those who survive the most. You could have given up. Instead, you kept fighting. I promise to spend forever being the partner who sees your strength, who helps carry burdens so you never have to carry them alone, and who reminds you that the woman who walked miles trying to buy bread for her baby is the strongest person I know. Sophie's vows reflected the same transformation. A stranger told me to sit down and eat when I was trying to buy bread with my last $2. Nathan, you could have walked past, could have made this about charity or pity, could have made me feel small. Instead, you offered a chair and a meal and treated my crisis as worthy of dignity. You gave me a job based on my qualifications while also acknowledging my circumstances. You helped me rebuild while respecting my need to rebuild on my own terms. You saw a desperate mother and a hungry baby, and your first response was sit down, eat first, giving me space to be human before demanding I have all the answers. I promised to keep fighting for our family, to build a life where we lift each other up, and to never forget that the greatest gift isn't money or security, but being told you're worthy of dignity when the world treats you as invisible. Woman who tried to buy bread with her last $2 discovered something more valuable than financial security, that the man who told her to sit down and eat first saw past her desperation to her worth. That single parents helping single parents created the family both desperately needed, and that sometimes the greatest act of love is treating someone's crisis not as a spectacle, but as a moment worthy of simple dignity, a chair, a meal, and the reminder that you deserve to eat before you have to explain, prove, or justify your humanity to anyone. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below about a time when someone gave you dignity when you needed it most. Your stories inspire us all.